So I think we can start now. We can have 10 students. So we can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, then we'll start. Friends, today we'll move to another area. This is a small topic. What we are going to discuss is contract administration closer. But very, very important thing. Most of our engineers or the contract administrators, when there is a dispute or non-progressing contracts, they don't know how to close it or terminate the contract. Right? Actually, I prepared this for the employer side, but during the discussion, I will move to the other side also. You can ask question because both party can terminate the contracts, employer as well as the contract. We'll see what it is. Successful contract administration requires that the dispute to be handled tactfully, effectively, and timely manner. That is very, very important, friends. I think next we have another 1 or 2 days. During that period, I will discuss arbitration and the adjudication part.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Extremely sorry, sir. Actually, today is a 7th class. Then after that we can have revision day school.
Okay. That day I will do the arbitration and the other part also.
Yeah, so only we can have another one session, sir, for the revision. By the way, in between we can have additional session on a weekday, sir. If you need more time.
Is it okay?
In the weekday, okay, sir. We can have a 2-hour session.
Okay, I will do that way.
Okay, sure.
Next week, I'll
So
next
next week,
Friday.
extremely sorry, sir. Next week onward, we are going to start that other 2 subjects, sir.
Right. Okay. Then what I can do is, okay, you please arrange a 2-hour session. I will do the arbitration quickly. What is the convenient time?
So then what about the Tuesday like that?
7 to 10. 7 to 9.
Yeah, sir.
Or 7:30 to 9:30?
I hope that what about our participants? Is that fine? 7:30 to 9:30?
Okay, by me, sir.
Yes, okay.
Okay,
no? Sir, our side.
Okay, then.
So
Okay,
actually,
sir.
we need to learn about the arbitration and adjudication.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, I'll do that. I will do that.
Okay, sir. Then I will and I will inform sir that the coordinator to then the date and time, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Small claim issues quickly escalate into a large claim issue if not handled promptly. area, not only contracts. If you think your day-to-day problems, we start with the small issues or the small claims. And if you are not capable to handle these things in a proper way, it will escalate and at a point, you and me can't come back to the original position. Then we need someone else's support. But if you handle the things at the beginning, of course, you and me can resolve the problems without any big effort. Termination is a drastic adjustment of the contractual relationship that may be grounds for the future litigation. Not only litigation or the litigation or arbitration, that is the result. Termination procedure should begin only after thoughtful consideration of the consequences and the impact from the variety of sources, such as legal counsels and the other impacted agencies. That is very, very important, friends. You and me can terminate the contract, maybe contractor or maybe the employer. But the problem is, sometimes if you go before the court, court may ask you to go reverse the termination. Then both parties lose their time, effort, and money. That problem is there. Therefore, not only that, friends, think about the other parties like our stakeholders. They also suffer. Therefore, friends, before you take this termination decision, you have to think twice, as well as you have to consult all impacted agencies as well as legal counsels. That is a requirement. Therefore, friends, this slide says we have to see the other course of actions before go to the termination. If there is no such other alternatives only, we can go to the termination of the contract. Okay? That means termination is not the first, it should be the last resort. Okay? The right to terminate the default has hinged upon two prerequisites. We have to fulfill two requirements, prerequisites. Reasonable ground for the default termination. Number two is certain procedural notification requirements. These two things are very, very important in the case of termination. Not friends, maybe court, maybe arbitrators may ask us to reverse your decision. We'll see these things in detail. Reasonable ground for the default termination. There are two key issues to consider when determining whether the procurement entity has reasonable ground to terminate the contract based on the default or breach of contract by the contractor. Right? I have listed out few things. If you go to the condition of contract, FIDIC, you have a separate clause. Termination. Termination by contractor, termination by employer. Both we have clauses. Right? I have listed out few things. You read those things, you will get one question, not only this presentation. Of course, we have to read the FIDIC conditions too. Did the contractor fail to perform or deliver within the prescribed time period? Failure of the contractor to perform the necessary work in accordance with the required contract specification or failure to deliver within the prescribed time period. Then, friends, this covers both quality failures as well as time failures. If there is a quality failures also, you can issue a notice to correct. If you refer the FIDIC, it says notice to correct. But in my slides, it says cure notice. Both are same. What we are telling is, okay, please rectify the situation. According to the FIDIC condition, it says, okay, notice to correct, we are given the time. I will discuss that one. Therefore, it may be time failure, it may be quality failure, it may be some problems in the securities, performance securities, or some other things. Those are very, very important in the case of employer termination. Employer can first issue the notice to correct. Within reasonable time, we can issue another and third notice also issued, then we can terminate the contract. In the case of contractor's termination, contractor also can terminate the contract. There are grounds given in the condition of contract. Maybe employer is not making the payment more than, say, 84 days, so 90 days. That is given in the condition of contract. If that is the situation, friends, contractor can't go to the termination at once. What he can do is he can suspend the work. First, contractor should suspend the work and then go to the termination. That is the difference between employer termination and the contracted termination. But there are situations, if you read the FIDIC conditions, if you have the book in your hand, please turn the particular page. There are few instances without suspend the work, contractor can terminate the contract. Maybe in the case of employer bankrupt, it's no need to suspend the work, straight away contractor can terminate the contract. Right? These are very key things, friends. Sometimes I may ask questions on this area. On what grounds a contractor can terminate the contract without suspend the work? Then please explain. I may give a question like that. Therefore, please read the FIDIC condition. It will give reasons. Then you have to explain what are the reasons, all these things. Right? Therefore, failure to perform means you have a number of reasons. Okay, you have a number of reasons. Please go through it and note down those things. Another thing is the time problem. Delays. It is no need to wait till the end of the given time period. We got the contractor's program. According to the program, we have given, okay, this is my planned progress. Maybe 50% at the particular day, but contractor's actual progress is 10% or 5%. Then you can issue the notice to correct to the contractor, okay, rectify the situation. Catch up the delay within some period. First, you give the reasonable time to the contractor to rectify the situation. Okay? But most of the cases, our engineers or the contract administrators, they are waiting till we end the deduction of LD, maybe maximum LD reduction. That is not necessary to do that. While we are performing the contract, you can take a decision, but only thing is you must have a proper documents, records to prove the things before the arbitrators, adjudicators, or the courts. Right? We got the contractor's program. We measure the contractor's actual progress. Sometimes contractor himself, they are submitting monthly progress. According to that also, they are very much behind the plan situation. Then you must communicate to the contractor. Maybe give a notice or the notice to correct. Give him a reasonable time to catch up the delay. If he is not listening to me, send the second letter, and third letter is our termination letter. That is very, very important, friends. Very, very important.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So in the case of contract termination, can the employer forfeit the performance bond?
Most of the time, friends, whoever going to terminate the contract, the other party will object it. Then dispute. Then you have to see the situation and answer to the question. Most of the time, employers are taking this action. Okay, they will take actions to forfeit their performance security. Soon the contractor send us a notice of termination. Engineer may send them a letter saying, okay, your termination is not accepted. If that is the situation, yes, you can do it because engineer's determination is very, very important. But if both parties agree to do that, okay, don't go to forfeit the performance security. The doctrine of substantial completion prevents the procurement from the termination contract due to poor performance without giving contractors a reasonable time to cure the defect. That is very, very important, friends. There may be a situation that we are issuing a substantial completion. What is this substantial completion? Some other day also I discussed with you all. Substantial completion means maybe a bridge, maybe a building, or maybe some other activity. We can use the particular work for our intended purpose. If that is the situation, we call it is substantially completed. Not 100%, but we can use the particular construction or whatever things for our intended purpose. Then we call it is substantially complete. Not 100%. We can use it for our intended purpose. In the case of bridge, okay, without any problem, safely, we can move from one side to the other side of the river on the beach. Right? Then we call it is substantially completed. If it is substantially completed, then we issue the certificate of substantial completion. It means contractor has done his work. Maybe very, very small things are the balance work. Then we are issuing the certificate of substantial completion or the completion. With that, we are issuing, okay, what are the balance activities? And we are giving some time frame, okay, but within this period, you have to complete your balance work. But most of the cases, our problem is these contractors, they may demobilize. After that, they are not attended to these balance activities. Then employers are trying to terminate the contract without making final payment to whatever these things. But this sentence says, you and me can't do that. Why? You and me can't do that. In the one hand, we accept, okay, you have substantially completed the work. If it is substantially completed, what he has to do is only the small balance activities. If they are not attending to these balance activities, we have another tool. That tool is retention money. You can use retention money to do these activities if contractor is not attending. Therefore, friends, when you are issuing the substantial completion, think about what are the balance activities. whether we can complete these balance activities using the retention money if contractor run away. That is very important. Yes, sir.
So if there is a balance work, we are not paying for the balance work, no, that amount also with us, no?
Yeah, correct,
Other
correct.
than, yeah.
Amount of the balance work also with us. But they haven't spent single cent for that particular, these things, no?
Suppose the employers refuse to issue substantial completion certificate, or in case of they delay, if he delay the certificate, what kind of action can contractor take?
Yeah, if that is the situation, Indian is not issuing the certificate of completion, right? Then, according to our handing over clauses, you can communicate to the contractor, my work is completed. Please come and inspect the site. But this man is not coming, then same clause says, if they are not visited to the site within 14 days from the letter, it is deemed to accepted. That is there. They visited the site, but they are telling, okay, small things are left. Until you complete these small things, we are not issuing the certificate. But if contractor can prove that work is substantially completed before the arbitrator or the adjudicator will take the contractor's side.
Okay, sir. Thank
and
you.
also, I think, sir, this is kind of requirement of the employer, because I just think, because if the employer need the say the construction before the due completion time, so
yeah,
and at that time both parties agree and issue the substantial completion report. I think like that such situation is because that is a requirement of the employer as well. I think this will happen, sir. Is it correct?
yeah. The requirements means if you employer can't use the, say, we'll take an example of a building, intended purpose. That is my requirement. If that is so, you can't issue the substantial completion. I'll take a small example, two examples. One is 5-star hotel. Right? We are going to open a 5-star hotel. Can you open the 5-star hotel while we are doing some small construction?
No, sir.
No. That is the intended purpose. Intended purpose is 5-star hotel. Visitors are coming. While we are operating the hotel, you and me can't do any construction or the balance activities. Then you are losing your image of the hotel. My intended purpose is 5-star hotel to encourage the tourist. Okay? If that is the situation, friends, though there may be small things, but to fulfill my requirement, contractor has to complete everything. But think about the building like your office. building is completed, maybe small activities like, say, color washing of boundary walls, or small activities are not completed. Then you have to judge whether that is necessary to run the office. If it is not that necessary, yes, my dear friends, we can accept the building and we can ask contractor to, okay, my dear, we will allow you to complete the rest while we are operating the building. Okay? That is the difference. Depend on your requirement, depend on your work, this substantial completion is different. Okay? Clear it? Any questions, my dear friends?
Sir, suppose the employer terminate the contract properly, and then the employer encash the contractor's performance bonds also.
Yeah.
Can the employer backlist the contractor? Or if can, what is the problem?
Blacklisting, of course, we have to develop a case. Right? Blacklisting, we have to develop a case. In the case of ADB and World Bank funded projects, if there is a corrupt practices, fraudulent practices, right? That is given in the guideline itself. If anybody practices these things, straight away they will blacklist you. But in our case also, you have to prove that, okay, this type of things happen. Then your organization can take a decision and communicate to the SIDA. That part you can do. Only thing is, definitely if you blacklist the firm, they will again go before the court and say, these people are blacklisting me, but that is not reasonable. Therefore, my recommendation is develop a case. First time, don't go to suspend the blacklist the contractor. If they are repeatedly doing the same thing, maybe first procurement, it failed, you terminate the contractor. Then the other contractor also, they are doing the same thing, okay, then you have a case. Then before the court also, you can prove that this man is not performing. Ultimately, this man is a troublemaker. Then court will accept your decision. You must be very careful when we are blacklisting the contractor. But please, if there is a situation like this, do it. Why I am telling these things is, in Sri Lanka, we are very reluctant to do blacklisting of contractors. Only thing is, you have to develop a case, you must have proper records of the contractor's failure, right? Then only you can blacklist the firm. Definitely it will end up with the court. Okay, my dear friends, any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
The basic test for determining if the defects were minor or minor in nature is whether the product or the service is capable of being used or occupied by the public agency for intended purpose. This is what I discussed with you. For my intended purpose, if I can use the product, building or whatever it is substantially completed. In the case of my 5-star hotel, it should be completed 100%. Then only I can use it for my intended purpose. See the difference? But you can't apply the same theory for your other buildings. Intended purpose is too different. Okay? Another important thing is actually, I discussed this one also, progress problem. This type of termination requires the procurement entity to prove that there is a reasonable likelihood that the contractor will not complete the complete performance prior to the delivery date. We must prove the before the arbitrator, so adjudicator, if contractor refer it to arbitrator, adjudicator, or the courts, you must be able to prove that during the implementation of the project, we identified that this man is not going to complete my project within the given time period. You can use this percentage of completion and time remaining. Not only that, my friends, consistent quality failures. There may be a situation we identify the defect, we notify it, maybe through a non-compliance report or some other way. Then they are rectifying it. By God, rectification also another defective activity. It means this contractor is not suitable to do this type of activity. He is not experienced or talented contractor. Rectification of defect also another defective activity. There are situations. Then you can keep the record, okay, consistent quality failures. Other key factors such as non-availability of key personnel. We are communicating to the contractor as per our agreement, okay, your project manager, structural engineer, quantity surveyor, and major key staff should be this much of qualified people. You are asking maybe chartered engineers or maybe MSc qualification should be there, and you are asking 10-15 years experience, and like that, I don't know what other experience, qualification and experience you are asking. Unfortunately, when they are doing the work, they are not giving or they are not employing required qualified staff. This is very common problem in the construction industry. To get the job, they are submitting very good CVs. But when we are going to the site, they are telling, okay, sir, during the submission, this man was with us. Due to delay of this awarding the contract, he found another job, but please allow us to replace this project manager with some other guy. They are sending CVs, but that is not acceptable to you. Then you communicate to them, no, we can't accept it. Again, they are sending another name, that also in the same level. Then this communication is going on. While we are communicating without our approval, sometimes this man is doing his work. Okay, this is a very common problem in the construction. Therefore, friends, you can take actions. Maybe securities, maybe insurance problems, maybe safety problems. You can list out all these things. Those things are, I just took few examples to discuss with you. If you refer the termination clause in your condition, they have given number of areas. Please read those things and get ready to your examination. Okay. Any questions, friends, on this slide? Any questions? Okay, then we'll move to next slide. Right, that is the reasonable ground for the grounds for termination. I may complete little early. Time permitted, I'll start arbitration also, but I missed my presentation. Okay, we'll do something. Second requirement is procedural notification requirement. These procedures focus on the obligation to give proper notice to the contractor of its deficiencies and potential consequences. This is the missing part in this contract. We are not following these notification requirements, my dear. Please don't do that. This is very, very important thing. If you are not following these procedures, procedural notification, contract is totally wrong, but before the court, they will win the game. Therefore, friends, I am recommending you to follow this procedure. This is very, very important. I am issuing recommending you to 3 notices. Number 1 is cure notice. If you refer the FIDIC, it says notice to correct, same thing. Cure notice, so the notice to correct is same thing, you can note down it. In a termination for default, the procurement entity must give the contractor written notice of failure and allow a specific time for cure, remedy of the failure before issuing the termination notice. That is very, very important. You and me can't remove the guy without any notices. You must notice him and give him a reasonable time to rectify the defects, correct their problem. Maybe quality failures, first give the notice, okay, these failures are there. If you are not attending to these failures, okay, we will take termination action. Give him a reasonable time, maybe 28 days or 14 days, depend on the activity he has to do. The things bring back to the original condition. Right? That is very, very important. That is the first notice I am recommending you to issue to the contractor. Notice to correct cure notice. Okay? It should state the termination of default may arise unless the failure to perform or may make adequate progress is cured within a reasonable time. Your notice or the notice must quantify the number of days. We are informing him, okay, this is the failure. Describe the failure according to clauses of the condition of contract. Maybe progress, maybe quality according to your contract specification, and refer the contract specifications, or some other, I don't know. In the case of contractor's termination also, he should issue the notice to the employer, you are delaying my payment, therefore, if you are not making the payment within this period, we will take action to suspend the work. This is applicable to both parties. Then in the case, you must quantify the number of days to do the activity. Give him a reasonable time. It should call the contractor's attention to its contractual liabilities in the event of default. That is another important thing. If I terminate you, you have to compensate me. You must communicate that also to the contract. Middle of the contract, if you run away, again I have to do the procurement process. It is very difficult to find another contractor to complete the partially completed work. They will ask very high rates. They will come and say, this part is not in order, therefore I have to demolish it, or I have to redo it. Lot of problems are there. Therefore, friends, you have to communicate to the contractor or the other party. In the case of this one, yes, contractor, okay, you are liable for these things. If contractor issue the notice, he can say, okay, I will claim my loss of profit or some other actual cost I incur due to my termination. Not your termination. I am going to terminate you. Not only termination, I will claim my cost. One may be the loss of profit. Other may be the cost of demobilization. I have to terminate my employees. Then I have to pay, say, another 3 months salaries, 4 months salaries, or whatever these things. They may tell us, okay, you have to compensate me. Both parties has that authority. That is, they are right. Therefore, friends, you must be very careful and you must, in the notice, please call the contractor's attention or the other party attention on the contractual liabilities. These liabilities are very correctly documented in your condition of contract. Right? Without referring the numbers, I prepare this notice, note, because this is okay to all condition of contract, maybe SIDA or maybe FIDIC, all condition of contract, this is very common. Therefore, I didn't put any numbers. but you have to select the particular clause number and refer it when we are writing letters. Okay, friends? It should request a written explanation of the failure to perform. My God. We are asking, give an explanation why this failure occurred. Why you are not performing. It should state that the failure to present an explanation may be interpreted as an admission that there is no valid explanation. If you are not giving any explanation, we assume that there is no valid explanation for this defect, failure. Finally, I am not happy to do that, but theory says it should invite the contractor to discuss the matter at a conference if appropriate. I am not happy. Why I am not happy, my dear friends? Definitely experienced contractor will take you away from the process. Today discussion, they will tell you, okay, I will give you a much better solution. Allow me to document those things. Then I will submit within 10 days. But 10 days they are not submitting. Sometimes they may come and meet you. They ask another 5-10 days again. There may be a delaying tactic. Therefore, I am not recommending this one, but theory says you have to do it. But if appropriate. Okay? That is the first notice, friends, we are sending to the contractor. Cure notice. I'll give you an example, not the entire letter. Key portion of the letter, you have to write the contract number and whatever the failure and all these things as we are writing in the usual letters. But you may refer this one, or maybe I have shared another document, our finance ministry document. They have given a complete letter. You can refer that one. You are hereby notified that the procurement entity consider your specify the contractor's failure or failures. There may be one failure or maybe a number of failures. A condition that endanger in the performance of the contract. Therefore, unless the condition is cured within 10 days, my dear friends, all my letters, I put 10 days. That is not the correct number of days. This is sample. You have to give the realistic numbers to practicable numbers to rectify the defects. Give a reasonable time to contract to rectify the defects. After receipt of this notice, the procurement entity may terminate for default under the terms and condition of the contract. Insert clause title or the clause numbers. Clause of this contract. There may be one clause or maybe there may be number of clauses. There may be one failure or there may be number of failures. Depending on the situation, you have to modify your letter. Okay, my dear friends? Any questions? Please ask.
Yeah. So if the contractor terminate the agreement or the contract, as you said, he entitled to claim any damages like loss of profit, like that, no, sir?
Yeah, correct.
So if there is no contract, how can enforce this claim without having a valid contract between the parties?
Oh, that is very good question. We are trying, there is a contract between two parties. Okay? But I don't want you to do the things maybe due to my own problem. Then I can find a small problem with you and I'll terminate you. Is it fair?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Then there should be a remedy to the other party. Then according to your statement, after termination, if there is no contract, yes, what he can do? None, my dear friends. According to the arbitration clauses, anything arising out of the contract, the termination also arises out of the contract. We refer the contract clauses, can refer to the arbitrators, adjudicators. Therefore, friends, after termination also, we can go before the arbitrators or the adjudicator to solve my problem. Sometimes unfortunate, maybe sometimes fortunate. There is no time limit to submit your case. Maybe after 10 years, also some contractors, they are submitting their claims to the arbitrators, adjudicators. But in the case of court, they are giving some time limits, okay? Within that time limits, you have to submit your case. If not, court will not accept your case. But arbitration, there is no time limit. Then most of the contractors, they take that advantage. Contract is still live. But soon after terminate the contract, contractor cannot stay at the site. What he can do is ask engineer or the employer to come and measure the balance materials, so all these things, and prepare a termination inventory. If both parties agree for the termination, or the arbitrator or the adjudicator give us a termination, okay, then what we have to do is we have to do a termination settlement, prepare the termination settlement. That also another big exercise, right? You have to prepare a balance sheet, right? That is another big exercise. I'll discuss these things a little later. That also very important. Therefore, don't worry. After termination also, you can go to the arbitrator, adjudicator, or the courts. Okay, you got the answer?
Yes, sir, yes. Thank you.
Any other questions on that? Okay, this is my second notice. Then we have given some period, say, according to my notice to correct or the cure notice, say we have given 14 days or 28 days to rectify the situation. But contractor is not attending, he is not responding. Then, my dear friends, Soon after expiry of that particular given time period, you can issue a second letter. It's called show cause notice. We are asking him to give us a reason why you are not attending to this default or the failure. If you have any valid reason, give it in writing to us why you are not attending to these failures. First one, we are asking him to attend the failures and rectify it. But he is not attending. Now we are asking him to give us a reason. If it is valid reason, give us in writing. The procurement entity may issue a show cause notice prior to issuing the termination for default. But if you see the FIDIC conditions, they are not telling this requirement. This is international practice, my dear friends. Arbitrators, adjudicators, they are telling at least give 3 notices. Number 1, notice to correct or the cure notice. Number 2, show cause notice. Give him a chance to tell his story. Why he is not attending to these defects. There may be valid reasons. I don't know. The show cause notice will notify the contractor of reason for the default. Again, when we are writing this letter, my dear friends, you can repurpose a letter and you can repeat what is the failure and go ahead with the letter. The notice will also request that the contractor to show causes why the contract should not be terminated for default and will provide the contractor an opportunity to discuss the reason for the problem. Right. We are requesting contractor to give us any valid reason not to terminate you. It means why you are not attending to the default. Okay, any questions on this one, this slide? Second notice?
So second notice, another name, intention to termination.
Pardon, madam?
Second notice, another name, intention to termination.
Just some engineers, they are telling, okay, this is my intention to termination. But intention to termination, we are telling, okay, our intention is terminate you. That is also another warning letter. But this is a bit different. We are allowing him to give his side, present his side. Intention to termination, we are telling him, okay, our intention is to terminate you.
That also, sir, they can have some, within 14 days, they can give their reasons, their explanation for that. No,
all
sir?
these things we are allowing them to give explanation. Right. Different people use different names. Different books use different names. Maybe intention to termination also you can draft in a similar way. Okay, friends, any other questions? Examples. Letter. Since you have failed to complete or insert the contract name within the time required by its terms or the cure the condition engendered into performance under the contract name, the procurement it is considering terminated the contract under the provisions for the default of the contract. Pending a final decision, this is the important part of the letter, decision in this matter, it will be necessary to determine whether your failure to perform arose from causes beyond your control and without fault or negligence of your part. Therefore, within 7 days from this letter, please tell us. We are giving very short period to him because there is no activities to do because cure period is over. Now he has to give the reason if valid reasons are with him. Here again we are telling, okay, intention to termination also they are in the letter. Okay. Accordingly, you are given an opportunity to present in writing. Of course, it should be in writing. Any facts bearing on the question to the procurement entity, again, I put within 10 days. You don't worry about 10 days. After receipt of this letter, your failure to present an excuses within time given may be considered as an admission that none existed. Most of our letters, this part is missing. Please include that into your letters. Your attention is invited to the respective rights of the contract and the procurement entity, both parties' rights and the obligation and liabilities that may involve if the decision is made to terminate for default. That is the danger side of the story. We are communicating again. In the first letter, we communicate to the contractor. In the second letter also, we are communicating to the contractor. If we terminate you, you have to compensate me. What are the areas? Referring sometimes clauses of the condition of contract, you have to compensate me. That is also mentioned in the letter. Okay? Okay, friends, this is my third letter. Before discuss this third letter, shall we take a small break and continue from this slide? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, friends, shall we start? This is our last notice. Notice to terminate for default. Then we are determined, okay, to terminate the contractor. Or in the case of other way, contractor decide to terminate the contract after suspension, or maybe there are special situation, yes, without any suspension, he can go to the termination also. Once the procurement entity determines the termination for default, it is proper the contractor will be issued the official written notice of termination contained in the following. Right, this is my last letter. The other letters also you have to include the contract number, effective termination date. That is very, very important. You have to decide what is the effective date of your termination. And description of the act or omission of the that constitute the default. Again and again we are telling, okay, this is your fault. Again, friends, still we are giving some period, maybe 7 days or maybe 14 days to appeal the appealing rights. He should appeal to us, not to anybody. Okay. A statement that the contractor's right to proceed with the performance of the contract is terminated. We are telling that after the effective date of termination, you are not entitled to proceed any construction activities. Right? After expiry of the termination date, he can't perform any construction activity. If the P has not determined whether the failure to perform is excusable, the contract notice should give state that it is possible that the contract will be held liable for any excess cost the procurement entity incurred due to the termination. That also communicate to the contractor, okay, you have to compensate me on what areas. My reprocurement cost, maybe loss of time, or maybe loss of revenues from, say, in the case of extras, or if it is a 5-star hotel, my planned income from the hotel due to your failure. Again, I have to rearrange my program. Like that. You can ask, okay, compensate me. It's a huge cost. The contract's right to appeal any decision. The appeal must be made within time specified in the termination for default notice. Right? We have to specify the time period. Okay, don't give longer period. Maybe 7 days is, in my case, I am happy. Okay, give them 7 days. Sometimes maybe 14 days. Don't give longer period. The following condition may create waiver by the procurement to right to terminate for default. Approving the revised schedule if contractor follows the approved schedule. There are tricky contractors. They are sending this revised schedule to complete the work. That may be beyond the date of completion. Sometimes without checking all these things, you may consent at the program. Then it will become a part of the contract, right? You accept the complete period, then you are in trouble. You can't terminate the contract. Entering into a negotiation for the or issuing the change orders to the contract. That's why actually earlier slide also I told I am not happy to start negotiations. Right? While you are negotiating, it is very difficult to terminate the contract. Therefore, I am not happy to start the negotiation. There may be a situation that some employees, they are issuing variation orders. We are thinking to terminate the contract. Termination grounds are available. With that situation, again, we are issuing variation orders. It will harm to your termination decision, right? Therefore, don't do that type of things. If you have to take a firm decision, after that, we are not giving any variations to the contract. We are not accepting any revised schedules from the contract which go beyond the our original or the revised original, sorry, not the revised, original date of completion.
Is it
Yeah.
relevant to the price variation as well? That we normal
Pardon?
price variation.
Price variation, yeah.
Now, if we supposed to terminate the contract, as you said, sir, we needed to pay variation and obtain new work schedules. So, is it relevant to the price variation as well? So, is it case
New
of
schedule.
no? It's okay. I am asking, sir, regarding the price variation. So,
Yeah.
I think even though we are supposed to terminate the contract, we have to pay the price variation for the work done already by the contract.
Already completed work. Yes. I'll come to that, my dear.
Okay.
I'll come to that after the these slides. I'll discuss that one. Consequences of the default termination. Impact on the contract. That is financial impact. Of course, contractor will lose huge amount of money. Maybe his intended profit, as well as we are putting some amount of claim to the contractor. Loss of future contract to debarment. Please correct, there is a spelling mistakes in this slide, not supervision. Maybe termination or blacklisting, as one of you said. Then he will lose his credibility. He may lose his future contracts due to ban him or terminate him. Impact on the procurement entity, delays in obtaining necessary goods or services, excess reprocurement cost, expenditure of reasonable time and effort. That is another impact on the procurement entity. Okay, maybe this is very important area, friends. This is what we want to discuss further. Termination settlement. Following the receipt of the notice, the contractor must stop work immediately. That is very important. We have given the effective date of termination. After that effective date, contractor can't do any activities. Terminate any subcontractors, that is contractor's responsibility. Negotiate an equitable termination settlement. That is another biggest exercise after termination. We have to do a lot of exercise to find or come to a termination settlement. It means, friends, we are not enemies. After termination also, both parties get together and they are working to find the settlement of termination. Stock items used in production of the contract. Yes, my dear friends, what you have to do is you have to prepare a balance sheet. One column may be contractor's money with the employer. What are the things with us? Yes, friends, I need your support. What are the things with us?
Certified work done without payments.
Completed work without submitting the interim progress claims. Others, please note down those things. Those things are not in the slides, right? Termination settlement. One is okay. Work completed, but they haven't measured and submit the interim progress claim. Then my termination settlement exercise is go and measure the final these things. There may be items they have completed but not submit the IPCs. That is due money to the contractor. Now that is with us. Any other things, friends?
Material on site.
Material at site. Maybe sand, maybe rubble, maybe metal, or some other gravel or whatever, I don't know, whatever these things. In the case of cement and these things, both parties should get together and remove these things from the site. If not, it will be a waste to the both parties. You can't keep these things a longer period. Sometimes reinforcement and a lot of things are there, material at site. Other things?
Safety.
What, sir?
Safety of the
Your line is not that clear, my dear. Please repeat it, my dear. Any other person can hear him carefully. Please tell me what he is trying to tell. Another thing is, my dear, sorry, your line is not that clear. Another important thing is, okay, my dear friends, they have submit the bills, but we haven't certified it. Or we certified it, but not make the payment. Bills in hand, employer's hand. One is work done, but not goes to the interim progress claims. Another is we certified everything, bills is with us, we didn't make the payment yet. Then other one is maybe material at site. Fourth one, what is the fourth one? Securities. Yes, maybe my colleague is trying to tell that. Securities. Yes, we have securities. Performance security with us. Advance payment security is with us. What we are doing is we are forfeiting those things. Then that is also another money with us. What else, friends?
Retention money.
Yeah.
Retention money, sir.
Yes, very good, sir. Retention money also with us. What else?
So any balance payment on the on account payments?
On account payments we already made, no?
No, sir, that balance part of this on account payment.
Okay, then you have to prepare one side. Okay, you can total it. Okay, these are the money with us. Contractors' money with us. Then we'll go to the other side of the story. What contractor should pay to us? Yes, what contractor should pay us?
Advance payment.
Yes, my dear. Okay, you have to settle the advance payment, balance of the advance payment. Then what else with us, with him? Yes, friends. Yes, that the next part is the difficult part. Then what you have to do another quantity surveying activity to complete the work. What are the balance activities? Right? You have to prepare the bill of quantities and prepare actual market value to determine what is the reprocurement cost. Then there may be a difference between original rates and the reprocurement rate. Definitely yes, because no one will come to do happy to do the halfly completed work. Then they will ask higher rates. Because of the contractor's failure, are you ready to pay additional money? No, my dear friends. The contractor should compensate me. That is my right. Because of your failure, now I have to incur additional cost, reprocurement cost. Then, my dear, additional cost to the complete the balance money, balance work. Then my reprocurement cost, paper advertisement, evaluation team, all these things are my additional cost. Then contractor should compensate me. Then I have planned to start my hotel, open my hotel on particular day. Because of this contractor's failure, I lost, say, 100 days. Within that 100 days, I lose my plan income. That also another problem. The worst situation, maybe employer may ask, okay, contractor to compensate that side also. Like that, friends. You have to prepare your balance sheet. What employer should pay to the contractor, what contractor should pay to the employer. And at the end of the day, you will get some value. Contractor should pay something to the us. If you get them, you will get positive, minus, or negative values. If it is positive, oh sorry, I'll do other way. I'll explain it other way. If employer should pay something to the contractor, okay, pay that money and settle the case. According to your analysis, contractor should pay something to us, then you are in trouble. How to get that money? Then you have to go to the arbitrator or adjudicator. If that is not available, you have to go to the court and say, because of this man's failure, I am losing this money. Please help us to get that money. Whatever situation, friends, you must have a proper records, proper analysis, then only you can win the game. Yeah. Stock items and used in the production of the contract, cost containing after termination. These things should be very well defined, analyzed, and documented.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, may I come in? Now, if you file a case in the courts, how long does it take for them to respond?
Pardon, madam? If you file a
Uh,
case,
Yes, if you file a case against a contractor,
yeah,
like, how long how long the case will go in, and when will you get the proper answer from the courts?
that is it is very difficult to answer that question.
Then, sir, that means it's like, if you wait for the court case, it takes more time for your job, right?
Correct. Maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, I don't know. That problem is there. Actually, that's why, madam, we are selecting the other alternative dispute resolution techniques. Maybe next day, again, I will communicate to Asari. If possible, I will do the ADR, alternative dispute resolution lecture. I have a small problem. If I settle that one, I'll communicate to Asari, then he will put that into your mail or LMS. Okay, that problem is there. We don't know what is the end date if you go to the litigation. There may be a situation that though we to choose the arbitration, arbitrators also delay in the case. Therefore, we have to select the good arbitrators. Then you can get the proper answer. Negotiate an equitable termination settlement. As I said, initial cost. Oh my God, loss of value of the assets. Rental cost, because my building is not ready, therefore I have to rent some buildings to maybe store my materials, or maybe I have to hire another building to start my activities. In the case of contractor, yes, subcontractors claims, termination inventory, no. Termination inventory, then how we are going to share these materials. Sometimes contractor may tell us, I don't need these materials. These materials brought for your work, maybe sanitary fittings, maybe tiles, right? Things like that. Then employer may accept these things, or sometimes employer may refuse those things. Depend on the situation. Parties may decide what to do for these materials. That is not a small exercise, right? But we have to do that without come to a settlement. Go before the arbitrators. It's another big exercise. Settlement expenses and all these things are very, very important. Oh. Okay, my dear friends, actually, as I said at the beginning, this is very small topic, administration closer, but this is very difficult exercise. As we discussed, termination is a last resort. With a careful thinking, consulting various parties, stakeholders, lawyers, and other parties, you have to take this decision to terminate the contract. After termination, also, my dear friends, again, you have to do another exercise, termination settlement. Sometimes this may go before the arbitrators, adjudicators, or the courts. There also we have a problem how to solve these, whether we have records, whether we have terminated these things in a reasonable grounds. Therefore, we have to go back to my first few slides, reasonable grounds. Whether these reasonable grounds are given in the condition of contract, whether we have given the proper notices to the contractor. If not, you will fail. Therefore, my dear friends, termination, if you want to terminate the contractor, you have to think all these activities. There must be a valid reason to terminate the contractor. Then after that, if there is a valid reason, you have to fulfill the notification requirements. Then you can terminate them. After termination also, again, you have to do another exercise, termination settlement. Right? Today, actually, time is 9:10. Any questions on this one? Please ask, or we can go to another discussion. I'm sorry to say, my dear friends, actually, I thought to start this arbitration, part of the arbitration we could complete today, but my presentation is missing. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, my dear friends. Then I'll discuss a little bit on the alternative dispute resolution without any slides. My dear friends, everywhere in the world we have two systems to solve problems, disputes. What do you mean by a dispute? What is dispute? What do you mean by a dispute? Maybe
Not
any
agree.
disagreement, any claims, or other parties not accept that claim, any argument, all these things are the root cause of the disputes. If these things are escalated beyond the control of parties, then it will become a dispute. Right? Solve these disputes, my dear friends. We have two systems in the world. One is litigation. Litigation means everywhere in the world, we have with this well-established system managed by the governments. Individuals or the private parties, you and me can't manage or administer the litigation system. It should managed by the states or the governments. Then the other system is we call alternative dispute resolution system, alternative to the litigation. Why we are thinking about the alternative system? We have a very well established system. In this country also we have this litigation system, but here also we are thinking alternative. Why? Everywhere in the country, you can have a court in a different levels. But we are talking about alternative dispute resolution, some other alternative. Why? I need your support to develop the argument.
The
To
time,
reduce the time.
Okay, one problem is, okay, in the case of courts, time duration is relatively high. Okay, I agree. Another thing?
Cost.
Yes. Not always. Most of the cases, yes, cost is higher than the arbitration or adjudication. Okay. Time problem, cost problem. What else? What are the other factors?
To accelerate the project, I mean, to make it faster.
Yeah, that is time, madam.
Adjudicator selected by the parties, sir.
Why we are selecting the parties? It means flexibility. In the case of litigation, You and me can't select our judges. State will decide it. But in our case, arbitration or adjudication, parties select their judges. That is called party autonomy. Parties can select their judges. Both parties get together and okay, agree, okay, he is my adjudicator. Or maybe you will appoint another appointing authority like ISL, SIDA, or ICC Arbitration Center. Then this particular appointing authority will nominate suitable arbitrator or adjudicator, or maybe group of arbitrators. This arbitration adjudication, maybe one member we call sole arbitrator or sole adjudicator. If it is more than one, we call it arbitration tribunal, maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 7, but don't go beyond 3. It is also another costly exercise. Therefore, friends, if it is your project is very complex, go to 3 arbitrators, you will get a much better solution than sole arbitrator. Right? Then we have a party autonomy. Party can choose your judges or the arbitrators. But in the case of litigation, we don't have that freedom. Right? Okay. Another. You can tie up with your party autonomy, selection of arbitrators. The answer is with that. How you are selecting the arbitrators or adjudicators? What is your consideration? What are the things you are going to consider when you are selecting your arbitrator or adjudicator?
Based on their performance?
What type of performance, madam? Before just past performance on the arbitration, yeah, okay, we are considering that also.
Their knowledge in the industry.
What knowledge, sir?
If it's a construction, about construction.
That is the very important point, sir. When we are selecting the arbitrator or adjudicator for the construction, we are selecting most suitable experienced person related to my project. In the construction, say I am going to construct a 10-story building. My problem is foundation. Are you going to select say electrical engineer for foundation?
No.
No. Why? He don't have
doesn't
that
have
knowledge
that
and experience.
experience.
Then we are selecting a person with a sound knowledge about the problem area. But if you go to the litigation, can you choose your judge?
No.
No. Then, my dear friends, we are referring very complex structural engineering problem, or maybe very complex software problem. This poor judge, he can't understand the problem. Then how can he give a proper answer to you and me?
So we have to then present expert in that particular area and present our case to the judge.
Then who are the judges? Or the particular judge or the expert? Because these experts are arguing and they are giving evidence, but poor judge can't understand this subject. Based on his understanding, he will give answer, but that is not the proper answer. See, think about this a multi-story building, if you are a civil engineer, this we are designing using finite element method, do whatever these things. Can you and me can remember this finite element method? Some structural engineers they are using that one. Even I can't now understand these things. Parties may come and present these things, using these things. We have calculated these loads, however, the given reinforcement or whatever these things are not adequate to bear the calculated loads. You are discussing the lap lengths, however, whatever these things, but poor judge can't understand these technical words. Ultimately, he will give some solution, but that is not the proper solution. Therefore, friends, litigation, our main problem is subject knowledge. But if you go to the arbitration, you are choosing the proper knowledgeable person to solve your problem. Not only subject knowledge, his experience on arbitration, adjudication, and the contract administration. You are considering all these things. Then only you have to select the particular arbitrator to adjudicate. That advantage is there. Anything else, friends? Now we discussed time problem, we discussed cost problem, we discussed knowledge problem.
Flexibility.
Yes, sir.
Flexibility and their charges, arbitrators' charges, and the time taken to issue their decision. I mean, in the previous cases, we can consider these things also.
Yeah. Correct, sir. But I am discussing my first question. What is the difference between these systems? Why we are going to the ADR system? What is the disadvantages or the advantages in the litigation system? In the commercial world, friends, most of the giants, they are not happy to disclose their dispute to the market. They are not happy to disclose their problems to their competitors. Think about software development, right? Particular software is not happy to their client. Then client go before the court. I am his competitor. I know that before the court, these people are arguing on the developed software. Then the client may tell, okay, these features are not available, but other party is telling, we provide these features, but this client is not capable enough to operate these things, so they understand the things. I can get some market secrets from the other side before the court. That is another biggest problem. Second thing is credibility. Therefore, most of the people, they are reluctant to go before the court. But arbitration, adjudication is a private inquiry. You and me can't disclose these things to the market. That is the biggest problem we are facing today also, my dear friends. For the education purpose also, we can't refer decided arbitration case. We have enough these things, but we can't share with you. Those are confidential. Therefore, it is very difficult to get the literature decided cases from the arbitration adjudication. That is private inquiry. Maybe now itself, somewhere in the country, arbitration case is going on. That is another biggest advantage. In the case of courts, time is limited. Court may ask, okay, today we are hearing, maybe after 6 months, I am going to fix another day. My client is the international guy, right? Today he has come to court to settle the cause, but without asking single word, court postponed the case. Think about the arbitration. No, we can agree with the arbitrators. Okay, we'll start our arbitration early in the morning, maybe 8 a.m. and we will continue till 6, 7 or 8 p.m. 12 hours a day. Throughout, we are doing our arbitration, argument, and all these sub hearings. You can arrange a place. You can arrange whatever meals and refreshment to the parties. And you can discuss with the arbitrators or the adjudicators. 5 days or 7 days, we will continue the arbitration and release my international client. These are the advantages in the arbitration or the adjudication system. Therefore, my dear friends, everywhere in the world, we have alternative dispute resolution, not only arbitration, not only adjudication. There are some other ways and means. Within this short period given by Open University, I can't discuss all these things, but next day, if I found my lecture note, it must be somewhere. I'll find and I'll communicate to you and we'll discuss those things. Right? Not only arbitration, not only the adjudication, there are other ways, conciliation, quasi-conciliation, mini-trial, and all these things are there. But I am not going to discuss with you all. Adjudication and arbitration is very, very important in the commercial world. Therefore, I'll try to discuss those things. Within next half an hour also, I'll continue my discussion. You have a record, please listen to it. And I'll share some notes with me. I found some notes. I'll share those things also. Most probably I can find my presentation. Then I'll discuss that in another day. As Asari said. Another important thing is the selection of arbitrator or adjudicator. I'll take a small example, friends. Construction of a multi-story building. My first example is foundation failure. You all know you are not going to refer that particular case to the electrical engineer. But our condition of contract says within 28 days or some other period, you have to appoint your arbitrators or adjudicators to solve your problem. If it is given in the condition of contract. There may be ad hoc arbitration when there is a dispute only, we are appointing arbitrators. But I am not recommending that. By appointing arbitrator or adjudicator also another dispute. Our document, we are silent on appointing party. Then again, there is another problem. How to appoint arbitrators or adjudicators. Therefore, better at the beginning of the contractors, parties are very friendly. after having cocktail and all these things, they started my construction. While they are doing the things only, start fighting. Therefore, don't wait to start fighting. Beginning, decide how to solve your problem. Therefore, you have to appoint your arbitrator adjudicator at the beginning of the contract. Okay? Appointing also, we have two systems. You can appoint or you can name a person or group of person at the beginning of the building. Right? Our building, we have a structural, these things, therefore, we found, okay, structural engineer should be in the panel. Then we decide, okay, good contract administrator should be there. Therefore, then he can understand the conditions, right? All these things, therefore, good contract administrator should be there. Then another person may be a mechanical engineer because elevators and all these things are there. Then problem is during the, or maybe quantity survey. But once we come to a structural, yes, when there is a structural problem in our team, a structural person is there. Among the members, they can discuss these things. Others also can understand the structural issues. Then they can give us a better solution. Then again, we'll go to further progressing. Okay, during that period, we got a electrical engineering problem. But in my panel, no electrical engineers. Then what to do? We have quantity surveyor, structural engineer, and the contract administrator. But my today's problem is electrical problem. What to do? Solution is there, but that is not the good solution, my dear. Again, these three members can ask party who's two parties, okay, we want to hire a consultant to get the opinion for the independent impartial consultant to get the opinion. They will name a person, then we have to pay money to particular guy and get his service. That is the problem when we are naming person or 3 persons in your contract at the beginning of the contract. That is one way. Second way is, I am recommending that one to you. Name a nominating body. Nominating body may be IESL or maybe SIDA or Architectural Institute or Quantity Surveying Institute or some other, I don't know. Depend on your procurement, you can decide what is the nominating body. Advantage is when we are writing to the particular institution, in the case of SIDA, you can write to the Director General or the head of the SIDA, then referring, okay, we have a problem, we entered into a contract on this date, our problem is a structural engineering problem. They have a list of adjudicators, arbitrators with the SIDA. They will choose, okay, they have structural engineers, they have material engineers, they have electrical engineers, they have quantity surveyors, architect, and so on. Lawyers also there. But particular problem is structural, then they will recommend, okay, your problem is structural. We will recommend, okay, A, B, C. Choose one person and solve your problem. When there's a material problem, yes, they have material engineers, then head of the SIDA will choose material person and nominate to you. Electrical, yes, they will nominate electrical engineers. Mechanical problem, yes, they will nominate mechanical engineers. Then you don't bother about it. Depend on the problem. They have a resource pool, arbitrators pool. Choose the particular arbitrator and communicate to you. Then you have to negotiate with the nominated person, their payment and all these things, and you can go ahead with the person. Okay, that is the beauty of this system. Okay, friends, any questions on this presentation without slides? Okay, I have a question. Right? Parties agreed in the bidding documents itself agreed to settle their dispute through arbitration tribunal. 3 members. Right? And at the beginning, parties should sign an agreement with arbitrators and adjudicators or the adjudicators. How to select arbitrators, adjudicators. Anybody suggest a way, method to select the arbitrators, adjudicators or adjudicators? කොහොමද තෝරගන්නේ? We choose party selection, not the nomination. Way is, my dear friends, generally, we are asking contractor to, my dear contractor, send your proposals with their CVs. My practice is I am asking contractor to send at least 3 CVs, suitably qualified, experienced professionals. Right? If it is a IT problem, I am asking them to propose IT expert with the arbitration adjudication experience. Then they will send 3 CVs. Employer may select one among these 3. Or maybe no, he is not happy to all 3 names. He will rewrite to the contractor, no, I am not happy to these 3 people due to these reasons. Therefore, please send us another CV with a better qualification. Okay, then we accept that CV. Same way, we are sending 3 CVs to the contractor and ask him to select one. Okay, contractor accept one. Then we have 2 persons. From the contractor's list, we choose one. From our list, contractor choose another person. Then we have 2 persons. Then we ask these 2 persons to get together and appoint 3rd person. He will act as the chairperson of the tribunal. Got it? That is the way. Normally, if you don't agree on the nomination body, that is the way we are appointing arbitrators or adjudicators. We'll go to the worst situation. Now, we are not in a position to agree arbitration tribunal. We are sending name, contractor refusing. Contractor sending names, we are refusing. What is the ultimate solution? Form arbitration tribunal also another dispute. Then what is the solution? Yes, my dear friends, what is the solution? There must be a solution to this problem.
We can go for third party like ISL.
No, we didn't agree. Then I am telling you, I am proposing you to, okay, we'll go to the ISL. The other party is telling, no, I am not happy to ISL. Because I want to run away from this problem. Definitely, I know that I will lose the case. Yes, friends, what is the solution? In that situation, my dear friends, Arbitration Act will help us. Please download Arbitration Act number 11 of 1995. There are 50 sections in this small legislature. You can download it, go to the law.net.com, or you can purchase it. Section 8, I think, yes, if I am correct. Section 8 says, High Court will assist you to appoint the arbitrators. That is only for arbitration, not for adjudication. Okay? For the arbitration, our act is playing a help role. High Court is the, commercial High Court is the court. We have to report all these things to the High Court. High Court play supportive role. Then court will appoint arbitrators for us. Therefore, don't wait till that end. At the beginning, you have to form your arbitration tribunal. At the beginning, both parties are in very friendly manner. While we are progressing, only disputes started. There may be a situation that these things will escalate beyond your control and my control. Then we need someone else, third party, independent, impartial person to solve our problem. That is ADR. Okay? Payment to the arbitrators, we call compensation to the arbitrators. You have to agree with the arbitrators. After selecting these arbitrators, friends, we have to sign a separate agreement. With, if it is 3 arbitrators, we have to sign 3 agreements, tri-party agreement, employer, contract, and the arbitrator. Tri-party agreement. 3 parties are there. Then we have to sign 3 agreements. 1 member, 2nd member, and chairperson of the tribunal. All 3 members have equal rights, but chairperson should handle the control the arbitration proceedings. Okay? Any questions on this, what I discussed so far? On arbitration? Then what is the difference between arbitration and the adjudication? In the both case, selection procedure is same. Hearing procedure also same. Then what is the difference? arbitration is binding procedure, my dear. We have a legislature. We accept and the country honor to the arbitration decision. No one can change it. It is binding procedure. If you are not honor to my decision, High Court will assist me to implement the decision. Okay. Section 5 of the Arbitration Act says no court has any jurisdictions to open up the case if other party object. If one party object to go to the court, since we have agreed to solve my problem through arbitration, then court has no jurisdiction. They have no power to hear my case. The court will ask, okay, go to arbitrators and solve your problem. Okay? Because that is binding process. But adjudication is not binding process. It is simple, not like arbitration. After the adjudication, again parties can discuss among themselves, come to amicable solution. Arbitration, no, their decision is final and binding. That is the difference between these two. Okay, my dear friends, any questions? I have some notes, I will share it. Okay, any questions? No questions? Is it difficult? Can you solve all disputes in this society through arbitration? Don't think about the construction or the commercial, these things, disputes within the society, can you solve through arbitration?
Not always.
Why, madam? Any example? What type of thing we can't solve through arbitration? Yes, friends, others, please help us. There are things not arbitrable. You can't solve through arbitration. What are those?
Change of laws.
Not change of laws. What do you mean by change of laws in the contract too?
General.
Yes, sir. Can you elaborate your answer? One area, one example is, my dear friends, crimes. You can't solve through arbitration. Murders or any other crime, you can't solve through arbitration.
Sir,
Yes,
what about
everything.
assets?
Yes, madam.
Assets? What about assets?
Asset problems, yes, we can. If you have signed an agreement and maybe whatever lease or whatever these things, if arbitration is there, yes, you can solve this through arbitration. That is not a problem. How about labor dispute? Can you solve through arbitration? No, you have a labor tribunal. You have to refer to the labor tribunal or court. That is not arbitrable. Right? If I found my note, my slides, I'll inform to Asari. I'll discuss those things. Don't worry. Definitely, I will find it. It must be there. I'll discuss those things in another day. Before that, please download this small legislation, Arbitration Act number 11 of 1995. You have 50 section. That 50 section, first 1 and 2 sections, they have given what is the purpose of this act. Repeal arbitration ordinance and all these things. Among that, my dear friends, one another important thing is there, enforcement of foreign arbitral law. Sorry, arbitral decisions. Enforcement of foreign arbitral decisions. What does it mean? I'll take a small example and explain it. About 10-15 years ago, if you go back to that area, Sri Lankan cricket, they signed an agreement with Indian firm to telecast Sri Lankan cricket. Can you remember that World case? A firm called Eddie Limbus. Okay, they signed an agreement with this Indian firm to telecast Sri Lankan cricket for a period of 1 year or 2 years. Agreement says, okay, when there is a dispute between these two parties, we have to solve these things through arbitration. Seat of arbitration is Singapore. Seat means place of hearing. 3 arbitrators tribunal. The middle of the agreement, Sri Lankan cricket got another opportunity. Okay, some other TV channel of a higher value or something, they cancel the contract and go to another person. Then particular Indian firm go before the arbitrators. They won the game. They won the case. Right? At that time, my dear friends, our cricket board financial position is very poor. They asked us to pay huge amount of money, dollars, to the Indian firm. We didn't have money. Then what happened was, the Indian firm, they go to all cricket playing countries and submit their case. Say, England, they accept arbitration system, and we have signed a separate treaty called New York Convention in 1958. It means, my dear friends, most of the countries in the world, they get together and have an agreement, okay, when there is a arbitrary decision given in countries, signatory countries, other countries also honor to that arbitrary decision. Their courts will assist other country person to implement that decision. That is the New York Convention 1958. Then Pakistan, India, England, South Africa, New Zealand, and all these countries are signatory to this New York Convention. Then Indian firm go to South Africa, West Indies, England, New Zealand, and so on. All cricket playing countries submit a small application. When your cricket boss is has to pay some money to Sri Lankan Cricket Board, don't allow them to pay it. Ask them to deposit that into the court, because I have to get my money. Then through that, they stop all our income from other cricket playing countries. You know, our cricket board is in a big problem. Ultimately, they negotiate with the Limbus company and come to a settlement. Okay, we will make the payment part by part. That's how things were solved. What I want to tell you, my dear friend, is enforcement of foreign arbitral law awards are acceptable in this country. Sri Lanka also signatory to this particular New York Convention in 1958. Please be careful. Maldives is not signatory to the New York Convention. India, they signed this treaty with a reservation only for commercial disputes. But Sri Lanka, without any condition, they accept, okay, whatever our decision, we will implement it. That is the beauty of this act, friends. Acts allow us to implement the foreign arbitral awards also. Our High Court will assist other parties to implement the arbitral awards given in Singapore, other countries. That is the beauty of this act. Please download it and read it. If you read once, then it will help you to understand what I am discussing today, as well as if time permitted in the next day. Okay. Okay, time is 10. We'll stop for the day. Please listen to this record again and read your arbitration act. I'll share some notes. If I found the presentation, I will share it also, and I'll discuss it after Asari arrange the next lecture, maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll inform you the exact date. Okay, friends, any questions?
Sir, at the beginning, we are signing tri-party agreement. So can the arbitrator assign a representative on behalf of the arbitrator? Is it valid?
No. No representative. You choose based on his qualification, experience, and all these things. No representative.
Have that kind of experience.
You have that kind of experience. Don't allow
Yes.
them to do that. That is illegal.
Yes. Yes.
This representative decision is not binding. Right? I don't know how these are the poor side of the story. Don't allow them to do that. That is illegal. If
Decision
you,
was given by the arbitrator, but
But no, the problem is if other party go before the court and say this particular arbitrator didn't hear the case, your decision is out. First time I heard this type of thing, my dear. What a poor situation. What a sad situation. Don't allow them to do that type of things.
actually he was analyze all the bills and other things. The
Maybe
representative.
this particular guy is very competent.
Yes.
Then remove the original person and appoint new person.
Yes. Yes.
Because then it is legal.
Mm.
No representatives.
That arbitrator is a very famous person.
Maybe. These famous guys are doing a lot of blunders. Don't tell his name, huh?
Yes. Another thing is, sir, we have to take AG's approval before signing the agreement, especially for the ICB contracts, no?
Yeah. They are referring only very few clauses. They are not referring this technical side, but they are taking whatever legal side, maybe arbitration, language, law of the contract, and all these things they are referring. Maybe termination, maybe all these things. Not all clauses. They are also very much familiar in this PDIC, but they can't argue on the PDIC condition, but most of the government arbitration cases also they are appearing, but that also not up to the standard. Okay, friends, any other questions or the experience to share with us?
So regarding the taking the AG's approval, is there a limit?
No. There is no limit to get the AG's approval. We are not sending all agreements to the AG. We are using the PD conditions and the same these things. We are not sending all these things to the AG's department. If it is a new thing, we are sending AG's department. But if you are not familiar on this drafting the agreement and the bidding documents, better get their assistance. There are organizations in the country, frequently they are doing this business. They have experience and knowledge. Therefore, they are not sending all documents to AG. That is not a must condition. Okay, friends. Time is 10 past 3. Shall we stop for the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
please
Good night.
download that small legislature, Act number 11 of 1995. And there are enough
Jayani has
books.
already shared with us, sir. Jayani
Very-
just now shared with us. Thank you, Jayani.
Jayani.
Yeah, just now she shared with us.
Okay, sir. Now I shared with the group, sir. Okay.
Jayani, do you have my presentation on arbitration?
Yes, sir. Arbitration and also the
Slides
description.
also?
Yes, sir. I already sent you email, sir.
To me also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then next. Actually, I missed it. Thank
You
you,
can
Jayani.
get it, sir. Okay.
Okay, then I see. If you okay, those slides are there or not? I discussed main things in the arbitration. Okay, next week I'll arrange a lecture and I'll inform to Asari, and we'll discuss with slide by slide. Okay, thank you, friends. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night, sir. Thank you.